Hello, beautiful people. Thank you for joining me today. All right, so today we are going to do another half dozen cupcakes. We are going to decorate them somewhat succulent style, and we are going to add some champagne in them as well. Okay, so let's get started. We have here our frosting inside of our piping tips. So we're dealing with emerald green and gold today. So we will be painting these cupcakes gold as well. We are going to start with this tip, which is our 32 tip. I like to call this the cactus tip because it makes beautiful cactuses. So we are going to pick up, let's say, this cupcake right here. I'm trying to think, let's see, because we have to do our champagne is in our 1M, and we're going to do 3 of those. So our other white ones will be for the champagne. Okay, so let's go ahead and start on the edges. So this is one of the only designs that I do kind of start around the edges. Everything else starts in the center. Whatever I teach my in-person classes, I always tell people this particular design will be the easiest design that you will ever do. This one, everybody gets this design because you just touch the cupcake, squeeze, lift up, squeeze, lift up. Very simple. Now, if you wanted to do some higher cactuses, you would just squeeze and just keep squeezing and lift up. I'll save that for another video when we actually do a succulent video. But this one is just a very simple but pretty design. Let's just fill that in. All right, so there we go. See how simple and easy that was? And it looks so pretty. Okay, so let's set that to the side. Now we are going to do a peony design. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to do it on the red velvet. So I'm still going to use the same tip. I'm just going to do a little bit in the center, and that is going to act as our glue to hold our peony together. So now we're going to go ahead and pick up, I'm going to take this out because I double bag these. And for some reason, I forgot to double bag the peony tip, which is our 121 tip, okay? All right, and this is how it looks. Okay, so we're going to twist it. We're going to push till we see some frosting come out, and then we're going to start designing. So you just want to go around that dollop of frosting that you placed in the center. You can cover it if you want, or you can leave it showing. It really doesn't matter. It's up to you. I just like to leave just a little hint of it showing. And we're just going to go all the way around until we fill up the cupcake. And as you can see, every time I go around once, I turn my cupcake. So do the design, turn, design, turn. It's the only time your cupcake should be turning. Now I'm just going to stop and retighten because you always want to make sure you have your frosting tight. So that way you're never struggling to push your frosting out. And we just want to cover most of the cupcake, but not all of it. I just had a customer today that had a little complaint that my cupcakes did not cover the frosting did not cover the whole cupcake. And I said, because when you go to take this cupcake out of the box, you don't want your whole hand to be covered in frosting. Nobody wants that, okay? All right, and plus we want it to look as realistic as a flower as we can, but we still want to know that it's a cupcake. All right, so now we're just going to go back to that first tip that we had, which is our 32, and we are going to place this in the center again, but this time we're going to do it super high. Okay, so we're going to go here, we'll go up, down, and this also is how you get your cactus if you wanted to make a higher cactus. Okay, so that is our glue as well. Now we're going to take our 366 tip, which is our leaf tip. A lot of people love to use this particular tip in my classes as well because it is really fun and it's easy to use. So we call this the Pac-Man mouth, okay? Your tip should be facing this way with these ridges going that way. And you want to hold that straight up and down like this, like a mouth going to eat. And so when you hold your cupcake, now you want to turn it straight up, all right? Go on the side of this. And also remember, because a lot of people do this, and I brought this up in my class last night, a lot of people don't like to actually touch the cupcake. You have to touch the cupcake in order for the frosting to stick. Do not be scared to touch it. Nothing's going to happen. If you mess it up, you could just redo it or put your frosting back where it's supposed to go. Okay, but you have to touch it. It's okay. All right, so we did 4 of those around. Now we're doing 4 around here. Like I said, if you want a more in-depth class on how to do succulent designed cupcakes, I will do a video here soon on how to do that, and I'll go slower for you, okay? But this is just to show you really quick how to do this particular design. And I'm just gonna go in here a little more. And I think that's good. All right, so there we go with that. That would be called your aloe plant. I think that's the correct word, is the aloe plant. All right, so we're gonna set that down. Now we're gonna use our 124K tip, which will be this particular tip. And we are going to do a laid down flower. So we're just going to take it and we're going to slide up, down, squeeze up, down. And this one creates the ruffles all by itself. So you don't have to try to move your hand any type of way to create a ruffle. It will do it on its own. You just need to make sure that you move your hand straight up and down. Also, we're holding the tip straight up as well. Now I'm going to stop. I'm going to retighten, push my frosting down, tighten up my bag. It's very important to have your bag tight at all times. You should never have to struggle to push out your frosting. If you're struggling, then your bag is not tight. You need to stop and retighten your bag. All right, and that is it for that one. We're going to go back to that first 32 tip, and we're just going to put a dollop in the center. All right. Okay, so now we're going to work with our last tip, which is our 1M, which if you're a baker, you know that is the tip that we always start with in baking. And this one is actually a raspberry frosting. So usually I do a raspberry champagne frosting, but this particular customer, for some reason, did not want the champagne in the frosting. They just wanted it to be raspberry. So this is just raspberry. And then we're going to add the champagne vials. Now, as you can see, my tip is getting clogged right here because when you do raspberry, it has little seeds in it, right? So those seeds tend to get stuck. So I am going to put this down for a second. I'm going to take a toothpick and I'm just going to clean that seed out. So let me grab a toothpick. All right, so I have my toothpick and I'm just going to go in between these ridges here and just try to push out wherever I think the seed is hiding. So this particular frosting too, I would normally do, I wouldn't use a 124K tip or any tip that is closed a lot because it's not gonna work. It's gonna keep getting stuck in there. All right, so that should be okay. Let's start again and see what happens. All right, it's working. So let's finish this one up. So this is, oh, it's getting stuck again. It's okay. This particular design is very forgiving. So we can kind of cover up where it got stuck. But this design also is probably only one of the only ones that I do to where I cover the whole entire cupcake. All the other ones, I only cover, you know, a portion of it and you still see the cupcake. Okay, so I'm going to clean this one more time and then we are going to do, let's see. Actually, you know what? We're just going to wait. We're going to use this to go all the way around. We're going to do a different design on the top here, I think. So I'm going to grab a plate. We're going to do 3 different floral designs that we're going to put on the top of here. So let me get a plate and I'm going to show you guys how to do that. Okay, so let's do our 3 designs. So what I'm going to do is place this here, just get that out the way for a second. We're going to put our plate in there. We have a foam ball that is going to be used to hold this number 7 nail if we need our hands free. And then we have some parchment paper cut into squares that we are going to do our floral designs on. So I'll set that over there and I'm going to set this here. So first we are going to take our peony tip, our 121. We're going to take our nail. We're just going to put a little bit of that on there to act as our glue. Take our parchment paper, stick it on there, and then we'll do 1 small peony. So these nails are good if you want to place designs onto your cupcakes later. I like to use these when I am doing the 3 different designs on one cupcake. I don't like to do them freehand on the cupcake because they'll hit each other and it's just a whole lot harder for me to do. So these nails really help me with that. So there is that peony. Then we're just going to slide this off of here, put it onto the plate. We're going to put this paper on there. We're going to set that on that foam ball. Now I am running out of frosting in this one. So let's see. I only have 3 of these. Let's do this one first because I'm going to take the frosting out of here in a second. And we'll move this over here. So we're just going to stack it up kind of high. Right there, okay? We'll put that on the nail. And then we're just going to take this one out because we won't be needing this piping tip anymore. And we're going to put it into this bag. So we just want to push that frosting down a little bit. Lift it up a little, push the rest down, and then take this out. And that's another reason why I like using this saran wrap method as well, because then you can switch these up easily. Okay. Excuse me. All right, so I'm going to put that back in there. Okay. And then we'll set that to the side for a second. And then we're going to take this 124K and we are going to do us an open flower around here. And we just want to go around as much as we want. One more. All right, there we go. Slide that off, put that on there. I'm going to take some of that and just put it on here so it can stick a little better. Put that on. And then I have a tad bit left in here. I'm just going to stick a little bit there. And we're going to go back to that 121. And now we're going to do an open flower. And then these 3 flower designs will be going on top of that extra cupcake that we have. Okay, one more. All right. And then we'll slide this off. We're gonna set that there. Now this will go into the freezer for 5 minutes. So we're gonna take this tray, put it into the freezer for 5 minutes, and then we're gonna come back and put them on top of this cupcake. All right, so we have left these in the freezer. Now we are ready to decorate with them. So we're gonna go back and take our 1M piping tip, and we are just going to put a layer of this frosting on here. That is once again going to be our glue, and that should be enough. And then we are going to just start taking these off of the parchment paper with our hands and just press them into that frosting. This is why we need to freeze them, because we have to touch them with our fingers. And if they're not frozen, that is not going to work. All right, so we'll put it there, and then we have one more that we'll put over here. And that may fall off. That's okay. We're going to make sure that it sits in there with our leaf tip. And it's going down. 1 second, 1 second. All right, let me hurry up and get this leaf tip together. Okay, let's turn this. And then we are just going to put a leaf in between here. Get it down in there good, up, down, pull that up. And then we want to just kind of press that up against that. And then that way that'll stick. Like I said, that acts as our glue, people, okay? Now we're gonna go in between these creases, and you wanna make sure you get it underneath those flowers that we just put on top. So that way when it sets, it will stick, and then none of these will fall off, okay? I was pushing that out of the way with the frosting, so I just had to push that back. All right, and let's turn and do the other side. And then we will be all done. I did go ahead and spray the other cupcakes with the gold spray. There we have it on that. And then I'll try and spray that one right there since it's kind of on the tray. Hopefully it won't get on my board. So this is the spray I'm using, gold. This is Color Mist. This one you can get at Walmart. Just want to shake it up really good. It's only a little bit left, okay? And then just spray it like that. And then that's all you have to do. And then we're gonna add some of the alcohol to it. These are champagne, so they just wanted the little piplets of alcohol in it. I just put some champagne in there. And we are going to take these little plastic vials here. What you wanna do when you fill it is you wanna squeeze first, put it in there and release your squeeze. Turn it upside down, squeeze again, put it back in and release. And then that will fill it up for you, okay? So we just want to put these into the gold ones because those are the ones that had the raspberry frosting. And she just wanted 3 with that. So we'll put that there, and then we'll also do this one. And then we will be all done. So there we go. I hope that you guys enjoyed this tutorial. I hope you learned something new today. If you need to contact me, you can do so at thecupcakeexperience.com or on Instagram at thecupcakeexperience, the number 1. And once again, thank you so much for joining me, and I hope to see you in the next video. Remember to like and subscribe. See you later.